Can we get rid of the myth once and for all that school teachers anymore are these just your average, ordinary, as Obama wants to say, next-door neighbors who are just doing everything they can to further the educational experience of your children? That's not who they are.
Best of all, it helps people like me who are too lazy and too stupid to get a job to make big bucks without doing any real work.
One gauge of who's good and who's not. A bitter fight today in Los Angeles about ratings publicized in the Los Angeles Times.
Some would suggest the teachers should be very happy right now that they're being asked for pay freeze and not to be, just teacher cuts all around the board, across the board.
It's the movie Behind a Movement. Waiting for Superman bashes teachers' unions for bankrupting our nation's schools.
They should just go in there and fire everybody.
It's the whining, crying, and
these public sectors,
the fair and
well, that's going.
They should fair and who's propose our news.
They should. Well, that's going.
They should fair and who's propose our news.
The cutbacks make us feel less valued. It makes us feel like what we're doing isn't all that important.
Essentially are giving the message that says we don't value teachers and we don't value the people who are spending the most time interacting with our youth and preparing them for their futures.
And they see it more as a child care giver rather than an educator.
Is that the people who are doing that kind of talking don't do what I do, and I don't really concern myself with them.
Good morning, my brilliant learners.
Good morning, Miss Judge.
I've seen so many teachers work beyond school hours, outside of school hours.
For me, I work from 6 in the morning. I get on campus. I have about an hour before students start coming into my classroom, and I'm usually there until 6 o'clock at night. And then I go home and do all my grading and my prep work for the next day.
Teachers have a more than full-time job.
6 hours outside every day, outside of the times when I am teaching.
I would say teaching is a 16 to 18 hour a day job.
Putting hundreds of dollars of their own money into school supplies that my children were able to use.
And my wife and I help him out with some tuition, and we have visited him, and we're trying to keep him moving along.
It's ludicrous.
Please enjoy these pastels that I purchased with my own money.
I think I'm a perennial optimist. I believe that there is hope.
There have been teachers who've been an incredibly important part of both my life as a mother and of my children's lives.
My first day teaching was probably one of the most exciting days of my life.
She was only with me for a short amount of time before she was pulled away again. But when she was pulled away, and I had to do her exit grades, she had F's in every single class and a C in mine. And I'm never going to forget her face. I'm really sorry. I'm never going to forget her face when she looked at me write her grade down and was so happy. She just like broke into this smile. Like, I've never gotten a passing grade. And I was like, see, you can do it.
Thank you, Miss Judge.
Working with the kids was just something that I really enjoyed.
I'm not in it for the money.
And in 9 months was able to overcome a lifetime of a writing disability to the point where she just got a 4 on her AP English exam this year.
You have to consider every single student.
It's things like that that keep you in teaching, I think. It's things like that that have to feed you, because the money won't, the test scores won't, nothing else will. is about that. And knowing that when you're on your deathbed, maybe, just maybe, you made a difference that rippled outward.
And when you see a student that just gets it and they are excited and they feel like they did something and they accomplished something that maybe they thought they weren't going to be able to do, it's so rewarding.
I made a difference.
He says the problem with teachers is, what's a kid going to learn from someone who decided that his best option in life is to become a teacher? He reminds the other dinner guests that, you know, it's true what they say about teachers. Those who can do, and those who can't teach. I decide to bite my tongue instead of his. I mean, you're a teacher, Taylor. Come on, be honest. What do you make? And I wish he hadn't done that. Asked me to be honest. Because you see, I have this little policy about honesty and ass-kicking, which is, if you ask for it, then I have to let you have it. You want to know what I make? I make kids work harder than they ever thought they could. I can make a C+ feel like a Congressional Medal of Honor, and I can make an A- feel like a slap in the face. How dare you waste my time with anything less than your very best? You want to know what I make? I make kids wonder. I make them question. I make them criticize. I make them apologize and mean it. I make them write. And then I make them read. I make them spell definitely beautiful, definitely beautiful, definitely beautiful over and over and over again until they will never misspell either one of those words again. I make them show all their work in math class and then hide it on their final drafts in English. I make them realize that if you've got this, then you follow this. And if somebody ever tries to judge you based on what you make, you give them this. Here, let me break it down for you so you know what I say is true. Let me break it down for you so you know what I say is true. Teachers make a goddamn difference. Now what about you?